Hi guys, and welcome to Womanaging. I am here with the owner of Emerald Collective and Emerald Collective East in Franklin. Everyone meet Erica Dildine.
I'm actually Erica Richer now. I just changed my last name legally.
When did you change your name?
Like 2 weeks ago.
So it's Erica Richards now.
Richer. Yes, R-I-C-H-E-R. Yes, Erica Richer. I'm still going to go by Dildine because, I'm almost 40 years old. And a lot of people know me as Erica Dildine, but I'm actually Erica Richer.
Erica Richer, as of 2 weeks from today. Yeah. So what made you decide to change your last name? You've been married a little bit, though, yeah?
So we actually eloped last August in Alaska, which was amazing. And we planned to make everything legal when we got home. And we ended up moving a couple months after, and I applied for the marriage license in Johnson County. And then we moved to Morgan County, and it just never happened until a couple weeks ago. So,
oh my gosh.
We've been together 19 years, so it's totally our style to not do it on time. But we are now a married couple, and I am Erica Richer. So
this is Erica Richer in the house, y'all. She's
excited.
Ready. Well,
Yes.
That's exciting. So you guys got eloped in Alaska?
Yes.
What made you choose Alaska? Because I have family there. I love it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we were bringing my son. He was a little over 2 at the time. I now have 2 little ones, but we had just had him. And so we were kind of thinking a trip where we could go have beautiful views and just be very intimate, but it would still be good to travel with a tiny little tot. And we brought my parents as well. And so we ended up doing an Alaskan cruise. So that's just kind of what we decided on. We threw around a couple other locations, but that's just what money, time, with the seasons of going when it's pretty there. And that's just what worked out. And we loved it. I would love to go back and spend more time. It's such a huge state. You need a lot of time to see it. And a cruise is a perfect way to see Alaska. So I'd love to go back. Yeah.
I have all my dad's side there. And every time we go, we have to go for almost 2 weeks at a time because there's so much to see and so much to do. And it's really something where you have to dedicate a lot of time to. And you and I both, it's hard to get more than a week away.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're recording right now on the 29th. It's the week between Christmas and New Year's. Do you have any traditions with your boys during Christmas?
It's funny you say that. My mom was a great mother, but we really didn't do a ton of traditions. Mm-hmm. So that's something that I've been very mindful about. I have my son, he's 3.5, and then I have my youngest, he's 2 months old now. And so that's something that was on my forefront this Christmas of building those traditions with my family. So, Christmas morning I woke up and made biscuits and chocolate gravy, which is a family recipe on my husband's side. And so I'm going to do that every Christmas, the PJs, the decorating cookies, and so yes, those are definitely something that I'm going to work on and I'm creating now. So it's been so fun to do that. I just feel it's been so magical to relive the holidays with children now.
Yeah.
So,
you said biscuits and chocolate gravy?
Biscuits and chocolate gravy. It's dessert for breakfast. It's so my husband's side of the family, his dad's side that he married into, so it'd be his stepmom and step-grandpa. They're from Kentucky, so it's an old Kentucky recipe. It's so amazing. I can share the recipe if he allows me to, if you guys want to know. It's very easy, but it's kind of funny when I make it. I'll make it the same way every time. Sometimes it turns out the perfect consistency of the gravy, and other times it's runny. So I'm still mastering it.
Yeah.
But it's so good. So yeah, you just do biscuits with a slab of butter and then the chocolate gravy and a big old tall glass of milk. It is, like I said, dessert for breakfast. It's amazing.
Sounds beautiful. We do biscuits and gravy too, but it's regular gravy, and then we also do cinnamon rolls because we are a sweet tooth family.
Right.
And you said that, I'm like, oh, my mind's blown.
Well, I will share that recipe. Yes.
Well, now you have Bray and Brix, which are your sons. How is Bray adjusting to being the older brother?
Oh, Bray is full of personality, and he took on his big brother role very seriously. I remember when I had just had Brix, and my mom brought Bray to the hospital to visit me, and he walked in and didn't even look at his dad and I, and he was just like, "Where's my baby Brix?" And he just walked right in, and cute. Yeah, he just was so excited and still is, and yeah, it fills your heart so much having your own family. I now get it. My mom used to tell me having kids is the best, and I was not interested until I turned about 30 of wanting to become a mom. And I tell people all the time who don't have kids that it is truly the best. So I feel very, very blessed to have them. Yeah. Have my little family.
I'm glad you said that because you said 30, right? You didn't decide till 30.
Well, Bryce and I met at 17.
Yeah.
So like, I really had no interest, and I think he had a little more interest than I did. But I don't know. It was just something in my head around the time I turned 30. I couldn't stop thinking about wanting to become a mother. And thankfully we had no issues with, trying to start a family. And, I think Bryce wants one more. I don't know about that, but I think if we would have got started a little younger and, I would probably have more. And I'm not saying that we're totally done because I'd do anything for him if he wants one more.
Yeah.
But, it's, 30 was on my forefront. And, I had Bray at my birthday's the end of May and I had him June 1. So I was just fresh 33 when I had him. So yeah, it's a perfect age in my opinion, but everybody does it differently. Yeah. We traveled in our 20s. We built our businesses. We worked out the kinks in our relationship in our 20s. And so I feel like 30s, it's like we were in sync. We were on the same page. We were, we'd gone out and done life for us. And now it's just like, we're so absorbed in our little family. It's like, so I think 30s is a great time to start a family in my opinion, but everybody does it different. To each their own.
I'm glad you say that because I, have been, work's my life. I love it.
It should be.
I love it. I don't have kids, but I get the question all the time of, well, what are you going to do when you have kids? Are you thinking about kids? I'm like, I'm 22. Y'all need to relax. It really does upset me sometimes when I'm like, why are you asking me this? And because nobody asks a guy, well, what are you going to do when you have kids? And for you to say 30, that's my ideal time frame. Like your ideal time frame when you first had your first baby at 33, I think that's perfect in my eyes.
Well, let's just be honest. You're never ready.
Yeah.
You just got to do it. But I sometimes think about if I would have had him younger, I think, I would have had maybe more energy, but, maybe would still want to go out and do things more for myself. Like, I think there's good and bad, so I know people who have kids and their 20s and they're glad they did it. And then other people, so I think it's your own path. If you choose not to have kids, it's still a great life, so it's to each their own. So don't worry about it. It'll happen when it's supposed to, you'll know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something in your head that tells you you're like, I want to be a mommy.
Yeah.
So.
Well, seeing your boys, it definitely pulls on my heartstrings because they're so cute.
Thank you.
And it's adorable. But while we're talking about kids, let's go into childhood.
Okay.
What was your childhood like? Where did you grow up? The whole shebang.
Yeah. So I grew up in Mooresville, small little town, I'd say 30 minutes from here. Mm-hmm. Pretty much lived in the same house since I was 4. My dad built it and he was a super hard worker. My dad, Southern guy, grew up like an older generation. So I never really met my dad's parents. They died before I was born. Yeah. But they were all from Alabama. So he was raised by an older generation. He was a super hard worker. I believe he drove buses for downtown Indianapolis. Nice. It was called Metro at the time, and now it's called Indigo, I think. And then he had a tree service on the side that he did on his off time, so evenings, weekends. So he was a worker. Yeah. I mean, truly. I remember some Christmas mornings, he wasn't there because he'd be working. Yeah. My mom stayed at home with us, and my mom always had the dream to become a mother, and she is the best mother and best Gigi is what my boys call her. She's actually our main child care. So I'm very, very thankful for her. So yeah, she stayed home full time with me and my sisters. So I'm the middle of 3 girls. My 2 sisters live in Australia. So that's so awesome and heartbreaking at the same time because the time change over there, it's really hard to communicate. They all have kids now. So we visited, I think the last time I was over there was February of 2020. So right before COVID had happened. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. They live over there. So, but yeah, my childhood, my mom stayed home with us, and I don't know why I'm getting so emotional talking about this.
That's okay. It's an emotional childhood.
Yeah. I had a good childhood in a lot of ways, and in other ways it was pretty traumatic. My dad was a little bit harsh and, like I said, worked a lot. I think he had a bit of a drinking problem. And so him and my mom's marriage was terrible. just absolutely terrible. And I think now that especially I'm a mother, your childhood molds you in so many ways of who you become as a person. And I have noticed that too with Bryce. We talk about our childhoods a lot, and we have like a lot of differences the way we were raised, like from two totally different worlds, but we also have a lot of similarities in our upbringings. And I think that my childhood like molded me into being like an entrepreneur because I saw how hard of a worker my dad was.
Yeah.
But then I also saw my mother. When you have children with someone, you're so dependent and vulnerable with your partner, like depending on them when you're in the home, working in the home. And my dad, he took his own life when I was 9.
Yeah.
And so that was very traumatic for me as a 9-year-old little girl to know the way my father had died by his own hand. And just to like experience some of like the abuse that I had, witnessed with him and my mom, the fighting. So I became kind of a nervous person, like all the time. Like I was a people pleaser, like walk around on eggshells to not upset people. So that was traumatic, but also too, I had a lot of good memories. I never went without. I had a very loving mother. I had everything I needed, was raised in the same home, like all up, growing up. I had a lot of father figures. My best friend, Brooke, who actually introduced me to Bryce, she lived right down the road. Her dad was a great father figure to me.
Yeah.
We actually lost him when I was like a freshman, so we share that. I had a lot of good things and a lot of good people that kind of replaced the things that I feel like I needed. But I do think that I watched my mom struggle, trying to figure it out with 3 kids, and she had never worked, never had really an education. A lot of women didn't go to college. That, generation didn't. And I respect the hell out of my mom. Yeah. Like she is like the strongest woman I've ever met. She's my best friend, and she put herself back through school, and she made it happen. Yeah, she made it happen. And I'm like just so grateful for her. I think as you get older too, like it's almost like an out-of-body experience. You look at your parents not just as mom and dad, as Joni and Roy. Those are my parents' names. And you see that they just did their best, and you see them for like who they are before they became mom and dad. Yeah. And I see why my dad was the way he was, and same with my mom. And, same with me and Bryce as we were raising our boys. And we talk about that, we want to try to give them like the best childhood, the American dream, you try your best and you can only do your best. So, yeah.
For sure. What did your mom go back to school to do?
So she got into an insurance. Nice. She worked for United Healthcare for, I think I don't know. She just retired back in April, but I think 17 years she worked for them. And then she was an independent broker before that. And so, she did really well. I mean, she fulfilled her dream of becoming a mom, but then she also kicked her career into full force, later on. So we've kind of done it opposite, her and I. So she's done it, and I'm super proud of her. And I got into hair at 18 is when I got licensed January of 2008, and I got so burnt out with hair in the beginning. Yeah. I actually went back to school and got my bachelor's in healthcare administration. Don't know a thing about it, but that is kind of why I got into, going that path with my degree was because of my mom. She was in healthcare. So kind of funny.
I love that though, because your mom, that story is still really unheard of nowadays, for your mom to have children and then go back to school and then get the career, because unfortunately she didn't have the choice, but she did it. And that's a great role model for you and your
for sure
sisters. It's beautiful.
I also watched her, struggle. And it's that's why I think I was so career driven, is because I was I'm never going to be so vulnerable to where I just, don't know how to survive. I want to always be able to stand on my own 2 feet. Yeah. But she did it, and I'm super proud of her.
I met her at your party for Emerald Collective East, and you could just tell that energy she brings is beautiful. She's a beautiful soul.
Oh yeah.
And I loved being able to serve her a drink, honestly. You came up to me this is my mom. I was I love that.
Yeah, she was definitely destined to be my mom. So, very, very glad that she is.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad my dad was my dad too. So it's kind of funny. He did tree work, and Bryce, he owns his own tree business. So his grandpa is actually the one who kind of got him into that work. So it's kind of funny how you go after people kind of that remind you of like your dad in a way. Like he reminds me of all the good things about my dad. Like it's so kind of crazy.
It's beautiful. Yeah. I think it's a beautiful type of crazy, honestly. I think a lot of people would be not wanting to compare it that way, but I think it's great. I love it.
I mean, Bryce is actually really good friends with my dad's old best friend that was his business partner.
Yeah.
So I still get to see him a lot, and they talk business and stuff, and he'll tell me, stories about my dad and tell Bryce stories about my dad. And he was a wonderful man. A lot of people loved him. And it's just kind of funny, like that he's in the same industry, and it's such a unique industry too. So it's kind of wild.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In your childhood, obviously your mom's a great, like huge role model. And I always talk about like in-person role models and not in-person role models. So obviously like your mom was an in-person role model. What was your not in-person role model, like a celebrity, or maybe it was a hairstylist? What was that role model to you?
Gosh, I don't know. I can't really say like celebrity role model. I mean, I'd have like people that I like loved as far as like celebrities and stuff. But I remember my mom, she went into Robert's Salon and Day Spa and would get her hair done, and she'd bring us with her sometimes. And I just remember looking around and like thinking like, I want to do this. Yeah. And she was like, no, you're going to go to college. And I was like, no, I want to do hair. And so I did. I was always like, I think I played with Barbies till I was like 14. I'm not kidding. Like I always like shaved their hair. Like I had bald Barbies all over the place. Yeah. Like I was always very girly, and I was always into like beauty stuff, makeup, and my outfits and stuff like that. I feel like I've kind of lost that a little bit through motherhood, but that's always like my first nature. I'm very girly. So yeah. So that influenced me. Like,
there you go. What age did you know I want to do hair or something similar to it?
I feel like from a young age. Yeah. I mean, I remember being young in the salon with her and like telling her that. So, I don't think I really changed it much. I think I wanted to be a singer too at one point, but
who didn't?
Yeah. So, but no, I think I kind of stuck to wanting to do hair. I never wanted to be a business owner. I never thought I'd be a business owner. Yeah. And I'll tell you who influenced me to do that. So, yeah.
Well, when you said you started or got your license at 18, I know a lot of people now go to high school, but also go to hair school at the same time. What was your timeline like with doing that?
So I'm really young. I was really young for my grade. I was class of 07, but my birthday's at the end of May. So I actually, at Christmas break, my senior year, so it would have been like December of 2006 is when I they called it a midterm grad. Yeah. So I was finished with high school midterm, so December of 06. So that following month of January of 07, I started beauty school. But I graduated with graduate class of 07. So I was 17 in beauty school. And so it took me about a year. So I started January of 07 at beauty school, and I got licensed in January of 08. So it took me right under a year to do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was kind of my path. I still went to prom and homecoming and stuff like that. And, but I was a midterm grad.
I love that. My mom was midterm grad too, and she was like, best decision I ever made.
Yeah, I feel like I got a head start, and I was, like I said, I was young for my grade, so yeah.
And where'd you go to hair school at?
So it was called A Cut Above at the time, back in the day. It was really the only beauty school on the south side, rather than PJ's, I think is what that one was called. There was a few on the north side, but with being so far south, that was kind of where I chose. But now I think it's called Empire. Yeah. It was over off Southport Road.
Okay.
So, but I don't know if it's still there.
I know there's Paul Mitchell, obviously, but
yeah, Paul Mitchell wasn't even around when I went to school to get licensed.
Yeah.
So,
what was hair school like for you? What was memorable? I know the stigma right now is sometimes hair school can be awful. And I have girls that work for me that hate hair school but love the career. So, what was your opinion on hair school?
Yeah. So the first couple weeks I was in school, I watched a teacher melt somebody's hair off with doing a perm. Literally melted her hair off. So my hair was down to my booty cheeks, long. at the time, and I didn't let anybody touch my hair because, like I said, 2 weeks into beauty school, I watched some girl get her hair chemically melted off by a teacher. It was no joke. So I was kind of tortured for that. Like, a lot of the girls would give me a hard time because it's like, by the time you finish beauty school, most people have short bobs and they have level 1 black hair because they've done everything in the book to their hair. There's So, I graduated beauty school with long hair still, and I was still going to my hairstylist in Mooresville. And so it wasn't fun, in my opinion. I just would go in and do my work and head out. I didn't click really with anybody there. There was maybe one girl in particular that I befriended, but I wouldn't say that I'm still friends with anybody from beauty school. And that's not like me. I feel like I still have a lot of friends from high school.
Yeah.
I met up with some girls yesterday for lunch, actually, and it's been almost 20 years. So it's just like when I'm friends with somebody, I'm very loyal and, stay friends with them forever most of the time. And so, I don't have any friends from beauty school. So if that says anything for you.
Yeah. So. And, I'm going to reference Abby, and many of you know Abby as the one next to me at the bar cart always. She's younger. She's 16. She says the same thing. It's like, it's funny you said that because you're like, I didn't let anyone touch my hair. Abby's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
She loves her hair. And unless they're going to curl it or straighten it, she will not let anybody chemically touch it. And for you to say, to watch someone get their hair chemically melted off, that's a horror story.
Like, she rinsed the perm rods in the shampoo bowl and her hair came out with the perm rods. That's how bad it was. Like, she had to do clippers on her, like shave her head. Like, that's how bad it was.
What did you say, or what did your teacher say?
Well, she had, the student had bleached her hair previously and then she'd colored it dark. So she hadn't told the teacher that she had bleach on her hair. And you're not supposed to, perm hair that's been bleached like that. I think now there's perms, which I don't really do a whole lot of perms, that you can put on bleached hair, but you're going to double process it and the integrity of your hair is just going to be trashed. So I'm big on that. It's like, you're going to be really mad at me if your hair falls out, and I tell you I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and it's just going to be on the ground fried. So I'm not going to do it.
That
be mad at me.
So scary.
Exactly. I'm not going to do it because you're not going to like it once I do it because it's going to be fried.
And obviously, you know best. You're the hairstylist,
right?
Do you get pushback when you're like, "Hey, I wouldn't do that. I don't want your hair to fall out." Is that something you deal with in your chair ever or anymore?
I feel like not so much now because I have such a consistent clientele. It's like I know the history of all their hair most of the time, and unless they've gone somewhere else. But when I was first building my clientele, I would get put in that position all the time where, I have this, and this on my hair, but I want X, Y, and Z now. And I'm like, okay, we can get there, but it's probably going to be 6 months from now. You're going to have so many sessions. And so I think you just learn your boundaries and you learn what type of stylist you are. I'm definitely more of a conservative, natural stylist where definitely enhance more of the natural hair and don't really push it past the limit to compromise the integrity. So,
everybody has that meme in their head of the girl that has the box black hair dye and they're like, "Oh, I'm platinum today," and you're like, "Girl, no, that's not realistic."
This is the saying, I'm a beautician, not a magician.
I love that. And I
so valid.
When I go to Michelle, I'm always like, I don't want to be that nightmare client. And Michelle works for Erica at the Emerald Collective on Jefferson. I'm always like, I'm not that nightmare client. You tell me what's best for my hair. And every time Michelle hits it out of the park, I trust her wholeheartedly with my hair. Because there's sometimes where she's like, "Girl, no, don't do that." You're like, don't do that to your hair. And I really respect it. But I've been getting my hair colored since I was in a freshman in high school. So I've seen it. I know how it is, and I'm not going to be impatient with people. I hate when I hear people being impatient with their hairstylists. Or no, I want that today. I'm like, that's icky. You're not the professional,
Yeah.
When you got out of hair school, where was where in Indy was the first salon you went to?
Oh, do you want me to say the names of the salons?
Yeah.
Okay. So right out of beauty school, I went to Robert's Salon and Day Spa because my mom had gone there, and that was kind of the place on the South Side. They had a good apprenticeship program, and I cried the first day I worked there. It was not fun for me, but I stuck it out. I think I was there for about a year. But when I was in beauty school, I had one friend in particular that I was, mentioning earlier. I said, one friend, her mom was opening a salon. And so she kind of asked me to come work for her. And I was like, no, I think I'm going to go to Roberts. And so I went to Roberts for a little bit. And then I went to Zen. It was over off of Stones Crossing and 135 and worked over there. And that's really how, when I built my clientele, I think I was there for about 7 years. I loved it for a long time. I was there 7 years. I was a commission stylist at the time, and I loved it at the time, but there got to a point where I didn't like the work environment from a few girls. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of when I started looking to do something else, but I was locked into a non-compete over there.
Yeah.
So Franklin was right outside of my non-compete. And so I was really just looking for somewhere else to work, but I was working with another girl there, which was my business partner with Sweet Olive. Mm-hmm. And we just had this bold idea to open our own salon. So Franklin it was, because she was locked into the non-compete as well. Yeah. And we just kind of did it. We took it full force. So that salon's no longer open, Zen Salon and Spa.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually think about the owner a lot, with just how she did business back then. And now when I make business decisions or deal with employees, I think about her a lot, and I learned a lot from her, in positive and negative ways, and still talk to her daughter every once in a while. She's great people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just kind of interesting, how the people in your life, I feel like they were in my life at that time for a reason. And like I said, I learned a lot from her mom as my boss, and I feel like she kind of molded me into making some of the decisions the way I did, based on how she dealt with me when I worked for her. So does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think that's a beautiful way to put it. And even though you said it wasn't the best work environment, you learned so much from it. Mm-hmm. And you can tell with the girls that work for you, they all genuinely love each other and have a really good connection. And it makes you feel better as a client coming into your salons, knowing that everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, you can feel that energy. Let's be honest, when you work with all women, it's hard to get everybody in sync,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
She definitely had the biggest heart ever. And it's so hard to run your business with your heart. You want to just do anything and everything, and you can't. You have to use your head too and make those business decisions. So I think about her a lot, my old boss, in the way she did things. And so I learned a lot from her. I told her daughter that too. I feel like maybe one of the last times I saw her and did her hair is I think about your mom a lot. She really helped me in a lot of ways. So
it's a beautiful connection with you and your business partner. When you started Sweet Olive, it was the location on Jefferson.
Yep.
Correct. So what attracted you to that location? Other than the non-compete, but that little location right there.
Oh, I'm going to be so brutally honest. I hope I don't offend anybody, but I remember us choosing Franklin, and her husband was like, "Are you sure, Franklin?" Because it was kind of a shithole back then.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm not. I live in Morgan County, and so there's definitely some of those areas too. But I don't know what brought us there. It was either there in Franklin, or it was 65 in County Line Road. And I just don't think my clients would have followed me that far.
Yeah.
So we made it work. And I'm telling you right now, I'm so glad we made that decision, because look at Franklin now. Look at the strides they've made with the area. It's a beautiful, beautiful community, and just all the updates and stuff. So I feel like God really put me there at the right time, because we opened in April of 15. And I'd say in August, so a couple months later, they closed down Jefferson. New business, it was rough. They were redoing that road out there. Yeah. So they just started really making the strides to enhance the community. And it was hard those few months they closed that road down, but look at it now. I used to live here, and I miss it all the time. It's a wonderful place.
Yeah. And it's funny that you said that, because, when people visit downtown Franklin and you have tourists in the area, right in the heart of downtown, they don't realize this is not what it looked like 10 years ago. Okay. No. This is not even close. And the strides that downtown Franklin has made is absolutely amazing. So for you to say you took a risk, mm-hmm. and luckily your risk paid off, and it's a beautiful location. I think Emerald Collective is a great part of the Franklin area. I think you've built and helped build what it is now. When you first opened Sweet Olive, what was another struggle you had at the beginning other than the road closed? Like, how did you get people in the door that weren't your clients?
I thankfully, and like I put in my spread with the Franklin magazine, I've had such loyal people, truly, that have followed me, that have supported me through, motherhood and different seasons of my life. And so I had a lot of people follow me, and I was so busy at the time. I mean, I used to just work around the clock, but that was my life. So I stayed busy enough to keep the bills paid, so we were fine. We actually, pretty early on had a couple booth runners come in, and, so it worked, for sure, but it wasn't easy. I feel like, I got sick with mono, like the first year I opened the business, because I think I wore myself down so much. Like I was working around the clock, and, it just happens when you own your own business. Like it kind of consumes you if you let it. So, yeah. It's
hard. And when did you decide that you wanted people in your space other than you and your partner?
Yeah, I feel like we had, like I said, hired a couple people like right off the bat. And one of them, Candace, she's still with me. Yeah. So I used to work with her at Roberts like years ago. But yeah, I mean, we filled up pretty quick. And we've always had like a really good, work environment. But Kat is my old business partner's name. She really I think she got pregnant and had her daughter pretty early on of us opening. And we wanted in the beginning to open up a clothing boutique, but we just really couldn't make it work financially and stuff. So we did that phase 2. Yeah. So we ended up knocking out a wall and doing the clothing boutique right next door shortly after. Yeah. So I kind of really just kept my foot in the salon with managing, working behind the chair. And then she kind of took the boutiques full force with doing that and the vision. I did all the social media and the photography and things like that. So we kind of were divided from that point on. Yep. Of just the difference in the businesses.
For sure.
So.
And then when did you rebrand into Emerald Collective? How did that change occur? What drove you into now what it's called Emerald Collective?
Yeah. So we opened the salon in 2015, and I'd say 2019, 2020. I can't remember exactly. I think it was 2019, maybe fall of 2019. Yeah, is when I rebranded. So unfortunately, the boutiques bounced. I mean, we were doing really, really good. We decided to open up 3 other locations, and we had our online as well. Yeah. It was her and I in the beginning, but her husband got involved as we grew, which we all agreed to. Mm-hmm. And I remember him telling me, he was just a kid brother at the time. We all had a really good relationship, and we all worked really well together. But he said, if we do this, most business partners it's harder to manage than marriages. Yeah. He's it's hard. And so he said it, not me, how hard it would be. And it was. So it's hard to see eye to eye with people when you're making business decisions. Like I said, you want to do everything your heart tells you to do, but then you got to have your head in it too.
For sure.
So, yeah, like I said, we grew, and we grew fast, and things didn't go well in the retail world. I'll say the holidays hit, and things were up, and then things went down, and we couldn't keep up. Yeah. So at that point, her and I decided to go our separate ways, and that's when I rebranded. So I just stuck with hair. And it's crazy. You look at the time of when you're going through something and you're why am I going through this? And then when you get over the hump, you're oh, that's why that happened. They were so very much very smart business people, business minded. I learned so much from them. Yeah. So when I rebranded, I really feel I took the things I wanted to change and just moved forward with it. Yes. And I mean, I know hair like the back of my hand. It's all I've ever known. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I rebranded as Emerald Collective. So Emerald's my birthstone. That's why I chose that. And collective it just means community. So yeah. I don't know. I just kind of went with it, and yeah.
I think it's beautiful, and I love the aesthetic you have. It's a very minimalist, very beautiful, neutral colors, gold, and it's inviting. What attracted you to that aesthetic?
I don't know. I feel it's just my style.
Yeah, it's,
you know,
it's so beautiful. And it really is like comforting for people to walk into that. It's not like really busy. And some people like busy, but I love just...
I think like today, like with fashion and interior design, like things like come and go so quickly. Like I've even done this with my house. Like I don't go off of trends. I go off of what I like, because like, let's be honest, like I wish I could remodel my house and my salon like every 2 weeks, like with the way things change, but it's like, I can't really afford to do that. So I feel like I've tried to like choose aesthetics that like are going to be like timeless.
Yeah.
And then you can like change out small things here and there to make it more trendy. So thanks for saying that.
Yeah, of course.
Just kind of go off of what I like style wise.
And
so
stay true to yourself, and that's why your business is the way it is and successful. I think a lot of business people that I, interview, they always say it's because it's what I like. You just stuck to who you were.
Yeah.
And do you only have one stylist that you stuck with originally?
Yeah. So I feel like around when COVID happened and we had to close down for 3 months, I lost a lot of people just due to the change of what was happening and lifestyle changes. Actually had a few girls that were pregnant with their first baby. And so I think just a lot of my staff, like they just had life changes.
Yeah.
But Candace is I've known her forever. So she's still with us, and she only works a couple days a week because she ended up moving like kind of far south, and she commutes, but she's still with us, and yeah, she's an OG.
Yeah, she is. I've met her before. I love her.
Oh, she's cool.
I love that you said COVID though, even though it's a terrible time. COVID's a catalyst for a lot of businesses. You either made it or you broke, and it's so sad to see so many businesses that did not survive COVID, and it's a blessing to the ones that did. So how did you survive COVID? What were your tips and secrets to it?
When we reopened, I was so busy. I mean, like, you got to think, like, back in 2019, like, people were still coming in every, like, 4 to 6 weeks to maintain, like, a blonde.
Yep.
And you go 3 months, so, people's roots were out of control. Their hair was just massive, like, gobs of hair that you had to get through. And so I remember like regular 2-hour appointments were turning into like 4 or 5 hour appointments. Yeah. And that's kind of around the change, like when the style changed too, like lived in color kind of got popular. So, I don't know. I was just very, very busy, and I, like I said, lost a few people, but, Hannah, so we opened, when did the businesses open back up?
I feel like they opened back up in, I want to say June.
June, okay.
Yeah.
So Hannah came to me in like August.
Nice.
So I brought her on, and I was able to kind of offload some of my work onto her, and she was pretty fresh, like out of school. I think she'd done like a small internship, and so I was able to like really help her, and she was helping me. And then it just like we kept growing from there. Mm-hmm. So that's just kind of how it happened. That's how I survived. I was just working around the clock. So there was still a few people. I can't really think who was still with us at the time, but we did lose some people around that time. So
yeah, and during COVID, there was a lot of people that were like, "Well, I'm just gonna do my hair from home."
Yeah,
and there was a lot of like people doing, and I remember this was like a huge trend, the like colored money pieces in the front, or like they would just box dye their hair. And I bet for a stylist, you're like, "This is my worst nightmare." What do you think of those trends from, TikTok just blew up then as well, so that's what really
I feel like the hair industry just changed around that time. Like I said, the styles changed. Like a lot of people were enhancing more natural color to where they could go like 6 months to a year without getting their hair done. But now it's like they come in and I've got 2 to 3 times the amount of work. So like I increased my prices around that time too. Yeah. But also too, like cost of product went up.
Yep.
So I'm really grateful. Like I said, I've had my clients who've supported me through all these changes, because it was my business changed dramatically around that time in every aspect.
Yeah.
So if, like I said, rebranding, the style of the hair that was coming in, just the amount of business that we were doing. So it was good. Like it was good to have the change. I feel like those 3 months I sat at home and I really thought about what I wanted to change in my life.
Yeah.
It gave me time to pause. I'd never had that kind of time off, rather than like being on maternity leave, but that was before then. Mm-hmm. But when you're so busy in the motions, going through the motions, you lose track of like your vision, and you just kind of get in survival mode. So I'm very thankful for that time.
Yeah, I am too. Now that we're past it, we see the silver lining, and it was a terrible experience, but also a beautiful experience because we wouldn't be where we are without it. I know you are you specialize in blonding and extensions. Mm-hmm. During that time, a lot of not natural hair color was popular. Do you do any not natural color anymore, like pinks or blues or orange?
I really don't. I mean, I did my little niece's hair with some pink in it the other day, but no, I just do like mainly like natural lived-in color and then extensions. It's kind of a wonderful thing because like I feel like my generation of hairstylists, it's like you have to become like a jack of all trades. Like you have to learn short haircuts and men's haircuts and different vivid colors and like the blonding and the extensions. And it's like now with the new generation coming up, you almost find your niche of like what you get really good at. And like, I can't tell you how many girls that I have that are like, nope, don't want to do that. And that was never an option when I was like a younger stylist. So it's changed a lot. And like, I feel like you'll get a customer and be like, what? She doesn't do short hair. And I'm like, would you rather her be honest with you or just pretend that she knows how to do it and you get a terrible haircut?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's good that, like I said, people kind of find their niche. And so, yeah, I just do more natural and the extensions, which I enjoy it. Yeah. So, yeah.
And I think, and I'm going to relate this to TikTok. I mean, people saw more hair and they were able to be like, okay, like I've seen this on TikTok, I want this. And that's when extensions really blew up because a lot of people had short hair. And when did you get into extensions?
So I took my first hand-tied class. It was like February of 19. I'd just gotten back from visiting my sisters and it was right before COVID.
Yeah.
So that was my first like hand-tied class and I've taken many since then. So yeah, since 2019 is when I got into it. There's so much out there though.
Yeah.
So.
And I read about you that you do the beaded extensions. You don't do glue, you don't do adhesive, and it's very healthy for your hair. What made you decide on only the beaded other than that?
Yeah. So it's funny because like, I'd say probably maybe 6 months to a year ago, which she's one of my clients now, I was like considering like going and learning a different method. And it was more of like the fusion, where you'd be dealing with an adhesive or some type of bonding. She'd come in and she had those in her hair for like 7 years. And like her hair was just trashed. Like, I mean, she had hot spots in her head, like hair loss. And so it's like, I just can't get down with it. Like if you're going to get these extensions in your hair and it's going to make your hair worse. So, truly like the natural beaded row, like I offer a couple different methods. I've experienced like it still keeps your hair healthy, which is a wonderful thing. Because a lot of people get them for different reasons. Some people get them because they're getting married, or some people just want long hair, or some people just want to thicken up like their normal length.
Yes.
I had postpartum hair loss and I had gotten, some put in just one row to kind of thicken me up. So, and for them to, you to wear them and your hair not be totally trashed, it's a nice thing. So I just, that's why I've kind of stuck with that method.
For sure. And I think that's the common fear. Or it's also the maintenance, but also is this going to hurt my natural hair? Mm-hmm. I've felt like that's always been the stigma, and that's why I've never gotten extensions. But I also know myself, I can't take care of them. But they don't want it to hurt their natural hair. I think everybody's trying to like get into like hair health now. Everybody wants to be as healthy as they can with their hair, and that's why you do like lived-in color and naturals. Mm-hmm. What are some of the hair trends that you absolutely love right now? That you would say like, okay, I can get down with these.
Well, I know you just had interviewed Allie Brown from Neon Moon.
Yes,
love her bangs. I know, she's so cute. So I love the bang trend right now. I actually kind of nipped at some bangs on my own hair, and I'm like, why did I do that? I have a 2-month-old. I can't barely get ready in the morning. But yeah, I love that right now. I love how like the more like buttery, not so warm blondes, but I feel like when blonding was like, when I was kind of getting into like the lived-in color and stuff, it was always like the ashy blondes. Mm-hmm. So not that that's not in now, it is, but I feel like people are kind of going more towards like more natural buttery blondes, which is really, really pretty.
Yeah, I've gone towards the buttery blonde now as well, and that's what I'm working with Michelle. And I felt like I had blindness because I was like, I want almost white hair. Mm-hmm. And Michelle was like, what? Like, that's terrible for hair. Now I realize, like, with my skin tone, I do not need really light hair. I need the buttery blonde. And I'm so happy. I think a lot of people are using the term like blonde blindness because that was a thing. Everybody was like white hair.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of people are getting like the color analysis done where, you know, it's like, oh, I'm a cool winter, you know, and they'll go to their natural and, you know, but more of like a cooler natural tone. So, you know, it's funny how the trends do change, but yeah, natural's definitely more in and, you know, not being too blonde, you know, so I agree with that.
Yeah. And so your biggest accomplishment right now is your new location. So now we have Emerald Collective East. How did that come to be for you? Let's talk about the story of Emerald Collective East.
Yeah. So I really wanted to remodel Jefferson Street or kind of make our space work better for us because I feel like we had really outgrown it. Felt very crammed in there. I talked to a designer and just like couldn't figure it out financially of how I was going to, you know, make my vision happen. Didn't really want to close down to do that. And the girls lose out on business. I couldn't find a new location at the time that made sense. So I kind of just quit pursuing like the vision. And I had actually read in the Franklin magazine of Anne from Falling Feathers about her location opening. And, I'm a hippie at heart, like love that stuff. Like she's into like the Reiki energy. And, I had gone to see her and she, you know, did her, session together and I loved it. And I was just like talking to her at the end and I said like, you know, I'd love to know how you got into this. This is just the coolest thing ever. And she's like, if I could just give you any advice, just follow your curiosity. And so that just really stuck with me. And I think within just like a couple of weeks, I had seen the previous owner of this location, Velvet Sage, had posted that they were closing. And she went to Mooresville, I believe, but I don't really personally know her, but we have a lot of like mutual people in the industry that, you know, knew of her. So I felt comfortable enough to message her. And I just said, like, is your space up for lease? Can I come see it? Because I always thought it was really beautiful from what I had seen. So, yeah, she said, yeah, come by and see it. And it just fell into place. Like, I had just found out I was pregnant, so I wasn't planning on doing it. But before I made the decision, I actually talked to all my staff over at Jefferson and just said, like, this is my thoughts. You know, how do you guys feel? Because I do like want to make sure that they're all happy, and nobody really wanted to leave Jefferson. Yeah. So I was like, why try to fix it if it's not broke? And so that was kind of my vision on starting a second location, and it's really just fallen into place. It's gone very smoothly, and I feel like it was put in my life for a reason. I feel like when things happen smoothly, they're meant to be. Mm-hmm. And not to say that it's not been work, it has, but it's happened pretty smoothly, and I haven't had too many headaches. Yeah. So, we're doing it over here, and it's a beautiful space, and I've really enjoyed it. I've got a good group over here, too, as well as at Jefferson, so I feel blessed in every way.
Yeah. And I love in the story how you said, I asked my staff first. You really connect with your staff, and you care about them as a boss. And I don't think a lot of people can say that nowadays. You and I are both blessed because, I mean, you are your own boss and you care about your staff. Your staff's so blessed to have you. I am, you know, Jason, my boss, is the same way. He always like runs things by me, and I think that's really admirable for someone who's a boss to do that and be like, hey guys, what do you think? You know, because you don't want to start like a mutiny. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that really makes everybody like bond. Yeah. And you brought Hannah over to Emerald Collective East though. Yeah. So she had, there was only a few girls that wanted to move locations, and she was one of them. Yeah. So I think it's been a really good change for her. So, but, I've since then brought on someone else over there. So we're at full capacity over there, and, it's a bigger space over here, about twice the square footage. So, I want to grow, you know, in the right way with the right people. So, definitely on the, you know, low and slow with growing. It's moving along for really only being open for 6 months. So I've had good support in the community, and we're excited about this space of the ideas that we're going to put into place next year. I love also in your story how you were like, oh, I just found out I was pregnant, but I still did it anyways. And most people would be like, oh my God, I'm pregnant, I can't do this right now. But you said, no, like I'm going to keep doing my dreams, even though I'm growing a tiny human inside of me. I mean, it's so impressive that you're able to open a second location for your business and grow a human being. And that's something, that's something men can't say they can do. What was your biggest struggle opening another boutique or like a salon where you were like also pregnant? What was the biggest struggle?
Yeah. So with my oldest son, like I loved being pregnant. I was so blessed. I had a very easy, enjoyable pregnancy. And this time it was, I don't know if it's because I was 3 years older, but it was a little bit harder. I didn't feel quite as good, but, my husband made it happen. I mean, we spent some time in here and, a family friend, he is just like a jack of all trades, helping us, get things together. And so that was a lot. I remember bringing Bray in here and, we'd eat his Happy Meal and we'd be working away. But, I felt bad in some aspects, but then other ways, it's like he's seeing his parents, work, and I want to set that example for him too, yes, as he gets older. And so that was hard. But we did it. And yeah, Bryce is always, he's definitely more like realistic than I am. I tend to be a little bit of a dreamer, and he always kind of gets me back to reality.
Yeah.
But he was fully supportive of it, and he made it happen. And he's been a huge supporter, and he's been the role model of why I wanted to be a business owner. Like he was a business owner at 21, and I think I was 24, 25 when I opened the business. And
yeah,
he set a great example for me, and he's a very like strong-willed, independent person. And like, I definitely struggle with like being strong-willed. I've had to learn that as I get older and like learn my voice. And, so yeah, I mean, that was, he helped make it happen. He helped made it happen of the second location. So I have to give all kudos to him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You and Bryce have such a beautiful relationship. And I think that both of you being entrepreneurs is something that's really hard for a lot of people, because your businesses are like your babies and you have to balance each other out, and you have 2 kids. Did you have any growing pains during that time when you both had businesses and you were just like, whoa, this is booming? You guys both have really successful businesses. I mean, what were the growing pains like during then?
Yeah. So, I mean, you definitely have growing pains when you meet somebody at 17.
Yeah.
And, growing up together, like we've now been together longer than we've been apart. So we had a lot of growing pains like before kids, and worked through that. But as far as like becoming parents and running businesses, like, I don't know, we've just had like a fully understanding of each other. It's like, I know when he gets called out on work or has something pressing that he has to do, it's like, go get it. I got this. And, vice versa. When I have things happen, he holds down the fort. And I feel like we, have a hard time like putting each other first, because we put our kids and our work kind of in front of probably our relationship. So yeah, that's hard sometimes. But we always figure it out. Yeah. So
what's the best way that you guys reconnect in those moments when you're like, okay, now it's time to put us first, and we have the time to put us first? How do you do your reconnect? Do you have like a special date night ritual or a place you like to go?
Oh, we're so like not planned, especially him. Like he flies by the seat of his pants every day. But yeah, I mean, I think we're still working on that. Like our youngest is only 2 months old, and children just take up so much time and energy. They just need so much of your time, and which is wonderful. But we're still working on that for sure. Like trying to figure out date nights and go out to dinner. And I hate leaving my kids. And he does too. He's like, I feel bad even going to work, So yeah, we're still navigating that. I can't tell you that it's been like super easy, but I think just taking that time to talk with each other, even if it's 11 o'clock at night when both boys are asleep, and we, reconnect or talk about an issue that we were having. And it's part of it with the relationship. You got to water your grass because it's not always greener. So
yeah. And before we started, we were talking about you and Bryce and how you've been together since you were 17. You're now 36. So you're almost at the point where you've known each other longer than you've been apart. What has been a moment in your guys' relationship where you're like, wow, like so much gratitude, so much like blessings in your life? Like what was the biggest point of, I feel like it's like a we did it moment. Mm-hmm. What sticks out to you?
Definitely becoming a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like best gift you could ever receive. So that definitely, I think having kids is a huge stress on people's relationships. But for us, it's like, I feel like we just became more in sync more than we were when we were younger. When we were younger, we definitely like had our ups and downs, and, you know, you do when you grow up together. So, but I'd say that was kind of like the turning point when we started a family. Yeah, it's like so much, like you said, gratitude, like your heart's so full. It's like, how did I get so lucky to receive this gift of this beautiful child that, you know, you've got to pour into, and like I said, you do your best, and, you know, so it's the greatest gift. I get it now. So,
yeah, I feel like you're good at picking good human beings in your life.
Try.
Because you have Bryce and you have a great staff around you. What do you look for when you're picking people to be a hairstylist for you, or just in your life in general? What attracts you to others?
Well, it's funny, like you were talking about Michelle, like first time I ever met her, like I just like fell in love with her. Like I felt like at ease with her. I think just being yourself when you meet somebody, and like, you know, I think that reflects, it's like, okay, like she gets me, I get her right off the bat. I think, not that I judge people when I interview them, but like you usually can tell like pretty early on in an interview, like, okay, is this going to work or not?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm the same way. It's hard to say like, oh, like it's just a feeling you get when you interview people. Cause sometimes I take on people that have no experience at all. And then they turn out to be amazing people. You just know. I'm going to wrap up our sesh because we're working women and you got an appointment to get to. But I have 3 questions I always ask my ladies at the end. My first one is going to be, what is one piece of advice you wish you had when starting your own business?
I hate to say this, but I know a lot of people do it, but I don't know. I can't say that either. That's so hard. One piece of advice, huh?
Yeah.
Speak up. Like I said, I didn't learn my voice till like later on. Of like, no, I'm not cool with this. Like, especially in the beginning, having a business partner instead of just like agreeing to, yeah, that's fine, you know. But then again, too, like when you do have a business partner, it's a give and take. It's like, it's a relationship that you have to work on. And so, yeah, just speaking up. Yeah.
And it's hard to like speak up as a woman because everyone's like, oh, that was bitchy. Like,
right.
No, it wasn't bitchy. And the guy said it. Like, I'm just telling you how I feel. Being an outspoken woman doesn't mean you're being a bitch. And that's hard. I mean, I'm still figuring
You're not
going to
please everybody.
Yeah.
And no matter how hard you try, I mean, you're just not going to. So you gotta stick to your guns, but, and like I said, speak up. Cause like I've learned that like in the past 5 years, like my voice of, you know, like I said, I never thought I'd be a business owner. I honestly don't like the business aspect of managing and things like that because it's really hard. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But like truly I love doing hair. Like I feel like it's what I'm good at. It's like my first nature. It comes easy to me. But yeah, I mean, you're not going to please everybody. You just can do your best. And I try to, you know, with my staff, like remember what it was like when I worked for somebody and how I would want to be dealt with.
Yeah.
So
that is really good. I love that answer. Whenever you have self-doubt or feeling inspired, what do you do to rid yourself of those feelings?
Well, the self-doubt is constant, and Bryce is always one that he always just lifts me up and encourages me and, you know, tells me you can do it. So I have to give him acknowledgement for that.
Yes.
But I also can look at other people like in the industry, like the owner of this location, of East location. I remember when she opened and I was just like, man, her place is so beautiful. Like I want a place like that. Or, you know, other people in the industry, what they're doing, like a certain post that they make or the way they're doing something. It's like, man, I want to be more like them. Or, you know, it's inspiration I get from other people. Definitely a wonderful thing. You know, It's like we can all inspire each other, and it's like a community of the beauty industry.
Exactly. And every industry, I think of it, even in the restaurant world, it's not always about, oh, like, you're my competition. It's not. You could be really inspired by people, and you can learn from so many different people. It's really
At the end of the day, we're just cutting hair, it's
Right.
it's like, but no, totally. I mean, I have a girl that, I used to work with, we worked together at Sweet Olive, and she opened up her own location like not too long ago, and I went over and saw her and congratulated her, and like, I mean, she's doing it. Like, so you have to support each other. And, like I said, there's enough to go around. Like, we're all doing the same thing. And it's just, uniquely you, when someone sits in your chair, it's like, you're that unique person that presents that. But at the end of the day, we're still cutting hair, and we can definitely be inspired by one another, get those fun ideas. And, it's a cool thing. It's a cool community.
It is. It's a beautiful community, honestly. My last one is, what is one thing you want to tell young entrepreneurial women that doesn't get talked about enough?
Oh,
I know, it's a mouthful.
So one thing I want to tell young entrepreneurial women that doesn't get talked about enough. I think if just like things flow and it like life choices lead you in that direction, if things flow, then they're meant to be. Like, don't think too much about it. Just like what Ann told me, if something spikes your curiosity or your interest, like, go with it. And you never know where it's going to take you. So.
I love that. I really do.
Okay.
It's like following your heart.
Yeah, totally.
And it's harder than saying follow your heart. Like, because you also have your head, and you have to balance that out. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything you want to maybe tease for listeners, or anything that's coming up for you that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we have some fun ideas. I have a girl here at the East location that's kind of helping me with some events that we're going to host at this location next year that we're really excited about.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Stay tuned. If you don't already follow Erica on all of her socials, and follow Emerald Collective and Emerald Collective East, but we're going to sign off for the day. This is my last interview of 2025. It's so sad, but it's so loving. And I'm really happy you came on, Erica. So thank you for
having me.
Your time. Much love to you and your businesses.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.